Well, let's get started with our top focus at this hour. BJP Karnataka MLA Arvind Limbavali is seen threatening, verbally abusing a woman who approached him for help after a part of a boundary wall was demolished by a government team. Now, she was protesting against this demolition of her property. She was taken to a police station after she approached the leader about this issue. Of course, she was sent back soon. Not just that, an FIR was also lodged for interference in official work. So here's a background to this particular incident. The Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board bulldozed the compound wall of a commercial building, saying it was built on an area where drains were placed for rainwater. So the lady in question here is the owner of this complex. Her name is Ruth Sagai Mary Amila. She opposed this particular demolition drive, saying that she had built the wall after getting a survey done by the government surveyor and after taking departmental approval. So that is the issue that she was approaching the legislator for. And look at how he is behaving with her. It's playing out on your screens. The lady says half of the compound wall was demolished by bulldozers. Now, this particular altercation that you see happened when the MLA was visiting the rain-affected areas. Remember, there's been heavy rains in these parts of Karnataka. This is the Mahadevpur constituency that we are talking about that was heavily flooded. So on Thursday afternoon, when the MLA was visiting the site, this is what took place. Let's listen in.
I am ready to ask for the apology with the condition. Are she ready to leave the land, encroached land, or else Congress, Surjewala has tweeted. I will ask Surjewala ji, please ask your worker, advisor, to leave the encroached land for the public purpose. Then I am ready to apologize for the incident.
Politics has erupted over this. Congress General Secretary Randeep Surjewala, while sharing this particular video, accused the BJP of hypocrisy on the promise of safety for women. He says the way Arvind Limbavali has misbehaved with a woman as a representative of the people is inexcusable. He has put out this tweet in Kannada asking for an apology from the BJP leader. Responding to Congress's charge, Mr. Limbavali said that he was ready to apologize, but also called the woman a Congress party worker. He says, I'm ready to apologize for this, but the same worker has occupied an area for many years and she's been causing a lot of problems. Let's play out that bite again.
I am ready to ask for the apology with the condition. Are she ready to leave the land, encroached land, or else Congress, Surjewala has tweeted. I will ask Surjewala ji, please ask your worker, advisor, to leave the encroached land for the public purpose. Then I am ready to apologize for the incident. Unnecessarily you are making the issue.
She said Mr. Limbavali misbehaved with me.
What misbehavior? What is the misbehavior? Since long she is enjoying the land and troubling the people.
She says that's her own land.
Who? That's what I am telling you. Since 9 months they have issued the notice. She didn't question to the court. She didn't question to the authorities. And when they marked twice, she removed the mark.
She told
red
that
mark.
No notice has been given to her.
1 minute. 1 minute. Then marks have been removed. Then recently, from 3 days, today is 4th day, from 3 days on that incident before, the officers were trying to convince her, leave the land. Before that, Ravi Purvankar has left the land. After that, TZ has left the land. If you go further, Prestige has left the land, which is encroached. What is the issue with her? She wanted to tarnish my image and wanted to divert the issue. That is there. I insist her, please leave the land. Please leave the land.
So the MLA in question is clearly justifying his behavior, whereas the lady in question actually had come forward to give an explanation. She wanted to show the documents because, like I said, she believes that the boundary wall that was demolished had the due permission for construction. So her idea was to appeal to the legislator and to tell him that the construction was legal. What did the MLA do? He snatched the documents from her hands. He insisted that she listen to her first. He then abused her and threatened her. The entire incident is recorded on camera. Let's play out the entire sequence.
ರಿಪೋರ್ಟರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಆಫೀಸಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಲ್ಲ, ಮುಂದೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ನಾನು ಮುಂದೆ ಸಾರಿ, ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಥರನೇ ಮನುಷ್ಯ.
So immediately after this, the person who was detained was the lady who was abused and threatened. Of course, no action against the MLA. He continues to brazen it out, which we played out for you, how he justifies this incident, saying that the lady is a Congress Karyakarta and saying that she has encroached upon government land. Let me introduce our panelists this evening. Joining us here today, Mr. Mohan Krishna from the BJP, Bhavya Narasimha Murthy from the Congress, and also Mr. Pavan Shyam, who is an advocate of the Karnataka High Court. Very warm welcome to all three of you. Thanks for joining us. I would like to begin with you, Mr. Mohan Krishna. How do you justify something like this? Clearly a case of high-handedness of a neta, like we are saying, drunk on power. Is this the way to speak to a lady?
Good evening, Afrida. It is not drunk on power, drunk on work ethics. I call it as drunk on work ethics. The issue is very, very greater.
I'm sorry, did you say work ethics? Because we heard abuse, we heard threats. Let me complete. The MLA saying take her away.
Let me complete.
Okay, go ahead.
Work ethics means his commitment towards improvement of that area, his constituency. Recently, we had incessant rains from last 1 year, and Bangalore is getting flooded all the time, most of the time. And for that, Chief Minister had gone on a visit where he found that stormwater drain, what we call in Kannada Raja Kaluve, has been encroached and people have built houses and everything. Now, a serious discussion has happened in the BBMP and with the Chief Minister, and everybody has to vacate the place. That is what the MLA was saying. The prestigious builders like Purvankara,
You know, Mr. Krishna, if you have a lady approaching you saying, I have the documents, why this wall was constructed.
You know what was the
and
document?
Please see,
You know what
she
was the
came
document?
with the paper. Could he not have shown her the courtesy of at least taking a look at them when she's saying that this construction was legal? Why is it demolished? You know, until something happens to one of us or one of our family members, we don't
You are not
realize
leaving
what
me
it
to
is
complete my-
for a
you are not
lady to
leaving me to
go
complete my
running
statement.
behind a public representative with a piece of paper requesting him to take a look. And you, your party leader is busy pointing fingers saying you come from the Congress party. There should have been no politics on this. There should have been a patient hearing of the lady. And at least he could have
Afrida.
taken a look at the documents.
Afrida, you should give time for me to complete my statement. Then you can ask your questions.
Go ahead.
It is very simple. It was not a complaint. It was not a complaint. MLA himself has said he is a very responsible. He is a four-time MLA there. He is not a first-time MLA. He knows each and everybody.
Therefore, the arrogance, sir. That is why drunk on power.
Please leave
he
me.
needs
Please
to be
leave
voted
me.
out. Then perhaps
Afrida,
you will have
please leave
the
me.
humble pie.
Afrida, please leave me. Let me complete. Let me complete. He has got very good connectivity with the people there. He knows what is what, who is who, everything. I am not defending the way in which he abused, but I'm defending the context and the situation. You have to understand. What he is saying is, you have encroached the land, the notices have been issued. What is that now you are going to talk? If she was right, she could have gone to the court or to the respective officers and get it corrected. She did not do that. And now that she wanted to create a drama there, and that drama has been unfolded. And unfortunately, Mr. Arvind Limbavali has lost his temper and he spoke to them like that.
That is
But
the
he has
problem, sir.
agreed.
You are defending the leader. No, I allowed you enough time. I have to bring in the other guests as well. You are saying the leader lost his temper. You are giving him the benefit of doubt that it was in a certain set of circumstances that this happened, and therefore, unfortunately, he lost his temper. Bhavya Narasimhamurthy, go ahead, ma'am. How would you respond to that?
It's really surprising and shocking to see that a BJP spokesperson is defending such a brazen misbehavior from their own MLA. First of all, the explanation he gives in the video you just played, is he actually endorsing a rowdy behavior for something happened? Even if the woman who has approached him has constructed some illegal or whatever the case is there nothing called law and order? Oh, wait. There is no law and order in BJP's government in Karnataka. It's an utter failure. And maybe that's why he's promoting this rowdy culture. Is he saying like this is how the public representatives will behave with the public? If she was at fault, why are police there? Don't you think law and order should have taken course? First thing. And to defend someone like that is atrocious. Second, I think the problem here is the party and its culture. Starting from the Prime Minister who follows those who give rape threats on Twitter, to these ministers, say, for example, starting from Kashmir to Karnataka, the same problem. Where in Kashmir, in Kathua, when a 10-year-old was raped and killed, BJP MLAs rallied in support of the accused, rape accused. Then comes Uttar Pradesh, Hathras. They burnt the victim's body instead of giving it to their parents. 3, the Sengar, his name, BJP MLA, who is actually the rapist. And the BJP was not ready to take him out of the party until Supreme Court intervened and literally ordered them to throw him out of the party. Sorry, I'm using such harsh words because this is very painful for me as someone from Karnataka that people elect such people who do not have the basic decency to behave in public. He is a 4-time MLA for
constituency, ma'am, that has elected this leader 3 times over, as you had Mr. Mohan Krishna point out.
Finish 2 more cases.
Yes.
Gujarat 2002, Bilkis Bano. They released the rapists and they're welcomed with garland and they even follow their feet.
Right.
And then in Karnataka,
I'm going to stick to the issue at hand here. Yes, I do understand you're quoting examples of other instances where you feel that women were unfairly treated, did not get justice. We are not going into all of those cases right now for paucity of time. What we want to do here is simply question this high-handedness, which is unacceptable. We are questioning, and it's not just about a BJP MLA, be it from any party. We in this channel, we question this time and again. It is not acceptable that as a public representative, you would not listen to the citizenry. It is not acceptable that you will simply use your power, snap your fingers and ask the police to take the lady away when she was simply coming to you with an appeal. Hang on, I'm not able to hear out anyone right now. I want to bring in Mr. Pavan Shyam. I want to bring in a neutral observer. Hold on, ma'am. I have allowed you enough time to make your points, Bhavya ji. Let me have Mr. Pavan Shyam come in. Mr. Shyam, first what I want to understand is that, if there is a case of any illegal encroachment, what is the procedure? And do you think it's fair that you have this kind of a demolition happen and then the lady who comes with the legal papers, as she says, are the legal papers of the construction, is being dismissed in this way? Not just that, she's detained and FIR is lodged against her.
Yes, so without going into the validity of claims of either parties, on the question that you asked, I would like to inform you that when there is an encroachment, now that has to be identified by the BBMP. Now they have to follow a certain procedure. They need to identify the encroachment. They need to serve notices, and those notices can be contested in courts of law. So as far as the woman's claim that, her property was being demolished, or the legislators claim that she had encroached, that demolition notice or the encroachment notice ought to be challenged in the court of law. The legislator cannot take a call on that. It is not the legislator who decides who encroaches the property and who doesn't encroach the property. Even if there is an iota of evidence that a property has been encroached upon inspection by the BBMP, action has to be taken. And the only institution that can interfere with such an order is the High Court. So the action of women in confronting the legislator is maybe not legally tenable, or it would not derive any fruit. And the action of the legislator
confrontation, sir, just a clarification. She's just gone to the leader with a piece of paper saying, sir, please take a look. This was a legal construction, which, of course, the leader dismissed without even snatched those papers, as we saw, very rudely and arrogantly, and dismissed her. So when you say confronting, is that illegal? Is it illegal to approach a public representative and say, sir, please take a look at these papers. Why was my boundary wall demolished?
It's absolutely not wrong. It's absolutely not illegal to approach the legislator. Of course, he has been elected and he's the representative.
Yes.
But the legislator himself had some kind of a duty to maintain basic decorum or decency when he deals with citizens of this country. So, of course, because the woman approached the legislator with some problem, the legislator need not brush her away or send her away in an abusive manner or in a very, threatening manner. I think by looking at the video, two counts of offences have already been committed by the legislator, and another 2 counts of offences have been committed by the police themselves. So which I'll come to later. But as far as the woman confronting the legislator with the encroachment notice, it's not as per.
Yes. So what are the counts of offences, sir? Please elaborate.
So as far as the legislator is concerned, now he should not have misbehaved with the woman. Now, from what I've seen or what I've read on the news articles, he apparently pulled her along or tried to hit her. So that counts for one offense. And second, he has abused his power by threatening to use police force. Now, can an MLA do such a thing? Can the police act on the words of an MLA? So
yes.
Now the reason why the legislator has threatened is obviously not known. It's best known to him, but he cannot use the police as his own henchmen or workforce in order to threaten a citizen. Now, if it's his count that he has been his duty has been obstructed, then from the video there is no evidence or there's nothing that appears that she has obstructed his work.
Yes, and there is an FIR lodged against her saying that she was obstructing government duty. I have a caller On the show, Mr. Anil Sood from Delhi. Very good evening, Mr. Sood. Please go ahead. What is your point of view on this?
Good evening. See, the unfortunate part is that the rate of arrogance among the politicians is running large. It is unfortunate that those who are in power, they are so drunk, they are so arrogant that they stoop down to such a mean level. It also reflects on the society how the people would behave in future. And if an MLA behaves like this, I don't think he deserves to remain in assembly. His place is, he should be sent back to home without any privileges. He must be punished. He cannot behave with any lady like this.
And this is the third incident, Mr. Sood. There was one case of an MNS leader physically assaulting a woman. There was a case of an AAP MLA. Literally, and in that case, it's the spouse. So, yes, so time and again, we've seen this arrogance, and it runs across party lines, by the way. This is not just about one party or the other. I think I have another caller, but I want to listen in to our correspondent on ground, Deepak Bopanna, has reported on this story. Let's listen in to what he has to say on this particular incident that happened today.
Encroachments are definitely a big cause of concern in the city, and it needs to be fixed on a war footing, and it's leading to a lot of problems. But in no way does, a person who's an encroacher, needs to be behaved in a manner like this, especially by an elected representative. The question is, if, a Neta was at any place where, asking for votes during the time of elections, if anybody behaved in, a manner which he didn't like, would he still act like in such a manner? And whether the political, party that she belongs to, or, if that individual has been doing things against his interests, but it doesn't warrant him behaving in the manner that he did, especially being an elected representative. What's surprising is that he knew there were cameras present. He knew they were rolling and they would record it. And you can just imagine how audacious he is, that he thinks it's okay for him to behave in a manner like that, where a woman is, of course, trying to approach him. Whether she's done right or wrong, let's put that aside at this point in time. But the way he behaved with her, even if she was wrong, the simple thing he could have done is stood there and told her, well, you have encroached property, whatever document you're bringing should be taken to the officials who have already issued a notice, because he himself says that notices have been issued to her. It could have been simple statements. He didn't have to lose his temper. What was the reason for him to behave in such a manner? Well, he has not answered that exactly. He has said that, it was a deliberate attempt to target him. She belongs to the Congress party, and, she's an encroacher. These are aspects which we could all, even if we completely agree on, but is a behavior from an elected representative really warranted in the manner that he did, especially in front of cameras? Not the fact that, because the cameras are there, he should have behaved politely with her, but the fact that the cameras were there and he still behaved that way with her. And these are definitely, shocking things that we see, and the politicians, of course, continue to get away with doing things like this.
Yes, politicians are getting away, and by the way, there's been no remorse. Unfortunately, I'm out of time. I had given all the three speakers enough time to make their points of view. I wind up with this, but I'll take the point that
he said something very horrible about rape. He actually said...
Yes, but we don't have that on record, so we cannot endorse that right now till we get a clipping of that. But I'll have to leave it at that. I'm sorry. We wind up the program on that. But yes, the main takeaway is, I would say, from what Mr. Pavan Sham said, that there's an abuse of power. You don't have the police force at your disposal to detain a woman, a citizen, who approaches you with a grievance. Thanks for watching.